Your neighbors. Your communities. Your celebrations. This is Gulf Coast Good News, WLOX's weekly look at what makes South Mississippi so special.
And welcome once again to Gulf Coast Good News, where we bring you all the stories that are sure to make you smile. Well, our neighboring state of Louisiana, known for its Cajun French heritage, we also have that connection here with our coast life. Hugh Keaton explains how a descendant of French settlers is looking into the past to find out how common French was spoken here in South Mississippi.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Claire McCullough. Je suis un descendant de les locaux du français du Mississippi. Hi, my name is Claire McCullough, and I am a descendant of Mississippi Gulf Coast French speakers.
Although Claire McCullough has actually never lived on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, her connection runs deep. Her family tree includes many common names in the area.
Dito, Sauché, Ladner, Linez, a little bit of Dubuisson. This is my grandmother, Lois Nicaise Curtis. My grandmother was a Nicaise. She has a direct relation to the Nicaise brothers who came here to the coast in the 18th century. We've been here in this area for at least the past 300 years. This is my great-grandmother.
A part of her family history is the French dialect.
Even though French is not spoken in this area, it's still a large part of the history and the colonial history of coastal Mississippi. So just like our Cajun cousins want to keep their history alive and let it thrive, I want to do the same.
Now, as a French studies student at the University of Rhode Island, McCullough is researching the language spoken by her ancestors.
I want to connect with people who may have memories of French being spoken in their home. People in this area have told me that their parents and their grandparents would tell them "fais dodo," which means to go to sleep, go take a nap, or you need to lay on your palette. Just little phrases that stayed within the community, even though their older relatives might speak to them mostly in English.
To keep this research going, McCullough is asking for help.
I'm reaching out to anyone who has memories, recordings, writings of Mississippi French specifically being spoken in their home. So I'm interviewing people about when they heard French being spoken, what context was it being used in, anything, even the smallest phrase, oui or non, would be very, very useful to me.
Through this project, McCullough says she feels a bond created with past generations of her family.
My grandmother, she never learned to speak this French dialect. Her older brothers and sisters did. And so I feel like I can carry on part of her family legacy by doing this.
Not only is she carrying on her family's legacy, McCullough hopes to preserve the history of the coast's different languages.
It's imperative that we keep our history alive, not just for ourselves, but to honor the memory of the people that came before us.
I always heard "fais dodo" meant street dance, but whatever the case, if you have something you'd like to pass along about French being spoken here in South Mississippi, or you're looking for more info, we have a link to Claire McCullough's website, and it's at WLOX.com. Well, a popular New Orleans sandwich crossing state lines and finding a new home here on the Gulf Coast. Kimberly Marquardt has owned Southern Girl Cookies in Waveland for 3 years. She says she stopped at Central Grocery during a recent trip to New Orleans to taste a muffaletta. She liked it so much, she asked to bring the famous sandwich back to Waveland to sell in her shop. Central Grocery, well, they gave her the green light to do it.
Overnight, my business has already grown. Tons of new followers, tons of new likes, people from all over, from Picayune to Pascagoula to up north, Hattiesburg.
And Southern Girl Cookies will start selling the muffalettas, and they did earlier this week in their shop, and I'll bet they were pretty good. Well, fasten your seatbelts. In this week's Behind the Business, we're going for a ride in style. Brandy McGill showing us how Ferraris, Bentleys, Rolls-Royce, Lamborghinis, and more are all available right here in South Mississippi.
Handle this with care. It's luxury.
Gulf Coast Exotic Auto, which sits on Pass Road in Gulfport, is not your typical car dealership.
Yes, so this is the John Cena car.
Hey everybody, this is John Cena, and this is a message from Chris Gibson, the buyer of the car, and Ivan Spinner, I believe the new owner of the car. drive, and we go back a long ways.
So this car only has 43 miles on it.
Oh, so he didn't go too far.
He didn't drive it, no. I probably
so he spent
drove
like
it.
20 years putting it together.
Yeah.
To sell it.
43 miles on it.
43 miles. Yeah, I've probably been in it more than he has.
So what kind of falls under the umbrella of an exotic car?
You just have like 3 or 4 brands that are huge, and you know, those are typically an exotic car. When these kids that are playing these video games, they see, you know, the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, the Porsche 911s, and I mean, they can spot an exotic car right away.
Chris Gibson has been managing partner since owner Ivan Spinner opened shop in 2014.
Yeah, so it started off, we had, I think, like 6 cars. And then within a couple months, I had to, you know, I worked for UPS. I had to quit my job and come over here because it grew pretty quick.
Gibson says it all started as a hobby, but quickly spiraled into a business. With that, both Gibson and Spinner had to educate themselves on how the exotic car industry truly worked.
It was a nightmare at first, so, you know, because neither one of us were ever in the car business. So there's a lot you have to learn real quick. I had to call a lot of friends and a lot of people that were already in the business and kind of learn real fast about like titles and, you know, the correct way to, you know, buy a car even. We got scammed even one time. There's a lot of like ways to do auctions, and, you know, you can get burned really quick, and the money, you know, adds up really fast on some of these exotic cars. So this is one of my favorite cars in here. It's just so much fun to drive.
It's really cute.
Yeah, well, check out the inside of it.
Now this is custom for sure.
It is. This is a custom build. This was built by S Club Inc. in LA. So it's called a 912 Outlaw. And the reason why they call it an Outlaw is because it kind of looks stock, but then it has like a performance engine in it.
All right.
This one's a lot easier to get into.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So you'll just put your foot on the brake. Yeah, there it is. Put yourself up.
This is nice. It drives really nice. It's just luxury. Now I don't know when I'll ever get my hands on one of my own, but wishful thinking. We're going to manifest it.
Yeah.
Kind of just talk about the investment and just how much you have to constantly pour into the business.
It's huge. So, you know, a lot of these dealerships where they fail is, you know, they have to rely on a bank, and their fees, like curtailment fees and stuff like that, it gets huge. I mean, it's hard to, you know, make a profit after paying all those fees and stuff. But thankfully, Ivan, you know, is our bank. We own all these cars, so we don't use any floor plans or anything like that. They're all personally owned, his collection. So that helps a lot.
Brandy seemed at home there, didn't she? Well, if you'd like to check out any of those exotic cars for yourself in person, you have to schedule an appointment. Gulf Coast Good News continues now with a fun time in Diamond Head for the Drive, Chip, and Putt local qualifier. That event on Thursday was one of many qualifying events taking place across the country. Thousands of young golfers are going to compete in these events leading up to the national finals. Now, only about 50 kids will make it that far, but they all get to have fun out golfing at events like this.
I've been playing this game since I was 8 years old, so it's just awesome to be able to give back and keep trying to grow the game of golf with our juniors. They are the future of this game, just like a lot of different things. So being able to see all these young kids here and trying to just have fun and compete is awesome, because it's just how we're growing the game and everything.
By the way, the sub-regional event is also going to be held out at Diamond Head. That'll be next month. Well, South Mississippi in the spotlight. Several talented young men with ties to the coast are having major league dreams come true. In fact, Resurrection alum Joe Scarborough was selected by the New York Mets in round 19 of the recent MLB draft with the 583rd pick. The right-hander was key for the Eagles winning state in 2022, and he was listed as the number 5 catching prospect in the Magnolia State as a Resurrection senior. He spent 2 seasons at East Mississippi Community College before transferring to Jacksonville State last year, and during his lone season for the Gamecocks, he made 19 appearances, 14 strikeouts, and 18 1/3 innings. and then he eventually took over the role as the team's closer. He picked up a pair of saves and posted 4 wins as a junior.
I've always dreamed of playing professional baseball ever since I was, 6 years old, starting in T-ball, but it didn't become like really real until just really a few months ago, like just kind of a real shell shock experience with like me and my parents were like, oh, this can really happen. This is a real opportunity. And I was just blessed and lucky enough to get my name called yesterday. Don't be scared of hard work. Don't be scared of what's ahead of you, junior college. I mean, if you can't go straight to a 4-year out of high school, don't be scared. You can still make it. I'm living proof of that.
And plenty of other hometown heroes heard their names called, including D'Iberville alum Logan Forsythe, the former Mississippi State and current Louisiana Tech pitcher, selected by the Braves in the 13th round with pick number 397. After transferring to La Tech from State in 2025, he made 24 appearances with 3 starts, leading the pitching staff with 71 strikeouts. He held opponents to a .211 batting average. When he was at D'Iberville during his senior season, he pitched 48 1/3 innings with a microscopic .94 ERA and 101 strikeouts. That was a program record, and that helped lead the Warriors to back-to-back district championships in 2022 and 23.
We were just waiting pretty much all day, and then to see it pop up, like my name next to the Braves logo, is just pretty cool to see. It's the closest one around here, so a lot of fans down here, so it's a cool thing to have happen.
Meanwhile, a former Biloxi Indian had his name called. Ole Miss pitcher Patrick Galley, selected by the Boston Red Sox with pick number 508 in round 17. St. Martin alum and Southern Miss pitcher Landon Payne was drafted by the Chicago White Sox. And if you want to see more happenings and good news stuff, head over to GulfCoastWeekend.com. It's your one-stop shop for restaurants, events, and entertainment happening right here. You can find that right now on GulfCoastWeekend.com and the Gulf Coast Weekend app. Gulf Coast Good News rolls on as a rescue took place as first responders were high in the sky. Long Beach's emergency services coming together this week to save a trapped osprey on the high school campus. Austin Johnson was out there and has details on this rescue op.
3 teams took the field at Long Beach High School Stadium Monday morning with one goal in mind: not winning a game, but saving a life.
Whether it be animal life or our lives, we're here to protect life, so that's what we signed up to do.
Firefighters, police officers, and animal control were called to rescue an osprey caught on one of the stadium speakers. That's Long Beach firefighter Brian Sumrall in action on the extension ladder. He first placed a net over the bird so he could gently work to free it. In the process, the osprey picked up a nickname, Brandy.
His talons grabbed on, and yeah, it was a pretty strong bird. Didn't realize how strong they were.
There were actually 2. There was a mated pair. The mate was about 10 feet up above, sitting on the ledge, kind of watching the whole thing.
Ospreys are federally protected in the state under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act. Animal Control Officer Quentin Denny says a concerned resident did exactly what they were supposed to do by reporting the trapped bird.
If they see an animal in need, definitely call. And they can start by reaching out to the dispatch centers in the cities they're in. Dispatch will connect them with either the animal control officer or give them the numbers that they can forward to and reach out to the agencies directly.
And Brandy is now in rehab, where she is expected to make a full recovery. And when she does, she will be released right here outside the stadium. Reporting here in Long Beach, Austin Johnson, WLOX News Now.
Good stuff there. Meanwhile, a multi-million-dollar contract between the University of Southern Mississippi and Integer Technologies is furthering underwater missions through new software programs. The goal, to move that tech along with unmanned vessels to better adapt in underwater conditions. Southern Miss officials say that new software will utilize innovation in AI and machine learning to allow unmanned vehicles to adapt in real time. And this new underwater data should come in by 2026.
It can stay down and it can make adjustments with how much power it applies, to stay in one place with where it goes. But also if it sees something with its different sensor suite, that are of interest, that it maybe can come back and take us another look.
The new program, the Intelligent Autonomous Systems for Seabed Warfare, brought Integer to set up shop in Gulfport.
Now, WLOX First Alert Weather with meteorologist Aaron Colby.
Well, good morning. Let's take a look out at the tropics. Now, there's only one area of interest out there right now, very low chance of development out in the main development region of the Atlantic. And you can see it's fairly disorganized at this time. We're kind of moving to that part of hurricane season where some of the things out here may try to develop. So we'll keep an eye on it as it continues to move across the Atlantic, but once again, very low chance of development and no concern for us here in South Mississippi. Next name on the list is still Dexter.
Well, it's summertime, and when you're making those summer plans, don't forget about Ship Island. Visitors say it's a hidden gem with clear green water and soft white sand. When you're heading out there, many spot dolphins on the boat ride and see fish and crabs near the pier. And while you're out there, you can also check out Fort Massachusetts and the rich history it provides. Captain Louis Grametta says after all these years, he still enjoys the quiet beaches and the beautiful views.
Ship Island experience is definitely a must for visitors to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It's a wonderful boat ride. You know, it's an hour trip across the Mississippi Sound, and the beaches out there are quite different from the mainland beaches. High quality natural beaches with shelling, birding, and great swimming.
Now, for details on how to book a trip, head over to our website, WLOX.com. And now some more fun on the water. Sailors hitting the water in Ocean Springs for the 51st annual Horn Island Hop Regatta. On day one, they raced to Horn Island and back. On day two, they raced around Deer Island. And throughout that weekend, 16 motorless boats, sailboats that you see right there, and 31 people competed in the competition. The 44th annual Biloxi Seafood Festival poster unveiled this week. Take a look at it. Caitlin Brewer created the artwork used in this week's poster. As you can see, it features several South Mississippi staples. You got the lighthouse, a magnolia, and a guitar. It also includes seafood, as you guess. Oysters, crabs, and shrimp. Brewer says the design captures the fun and festivity of Biloxi's seafood heritage.
I grew up on the Gulf Coast, and all of my artwork is based on the Gulf Coast. I love to share my art with locals and visitors alike. It's an honor to be a part of Biloxi history, and I'm very proud to be here today. I can't wait to see everyone at the Seafood Festival in September.
And the poster used to promote Biloxi Seafood and the festival, which is happening on September 13th, as a matter of fact, on the town green. Well, that's all the time we have for you this week, but if you know of a feel-good story you think is worth sharing, we'd love to know about it. You can send those ideas to news@WLOX.com or reach out to us on the WLOX Facebook page. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you even more good news.